7th pick in the 2018 NBA Draft, the Charlotte Hornets select Shai Gilgeous-Alexander from Hamilton, Canada, and the University.
In the 2023-24 NBA season, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander finished second in MVP voting, led the Oklahoma City Thunder to the best record in the Western Conference, and cemented himself as one of the league's most unstoppable offensive forces. Yet, on June 21, 2018, 10 players heard their names called before him at the NBA Draft. 10 players that teams believe would have better careers. 10 players that general managers stake their reputations on. Today, we're diving into the stories of these 10 players, examining their careers, and asking the question that haunts NBA front offices: how did so many teams miss on SGA? The 2018 NBA Draft was held at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn on June 21st. It was the last draft to use the original weighted lottery system, giving teams at the bottom better odds at the top picks. The Phoenix Suns won the lottery and secured the first overall pick for the first time in franchise history. The Sacramento Kings landed the second pick, and the Atlanta Hawks got the third. Coming out of Kentucky, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander wasn't considered a can't-miss prospect. At 6'6", with a 7-foot wingspan, he had intriguing physical tools, but wasn't seen as an elite athlete. Draft experts praise his basketball IQ and defensive potential, but question his shooting and ability to create offense at the NBA level. Most mock drafts had him going in the 8 to 14 range. Little did anyone know he would become the draft's biggest star. Let's meet the 10 players selected before him. The Phoenix Suns selected DeAndre Ayton, first overall out of Arizona. Standing 7'1" with a rare combination of strength and agility, Ayton was seen as a can't-miss prospect and potential franchise cornerstone. In college, Ayton dominated with 20.1 points and 11.6 rebounds per game, while shooting 61% from the field. The Suns envisioned him as a version of Joel Embiid or Anthony Davis, a two-way force who could anchor their franchise for years. 7 seasons into his career, Ayton has been solid but not spectacular. He's averaged 16.4 points and 10.5 rebounds while shooting 59% from the field. He helped the Suns reach the NBA Finals in 2021, but was later traded to the Portland Trail Blazers. While Ayton has been a productive NBA center, he hasn't developed into the dominant force many expected, and his defensive impact has been inconsistent at best. With the second pick, the Sacramento Kings selected Marvin Bagley from Duke. This selection has become infamous because the Kings passed on Luka, who went third. Bagley was an athletic marvel at Duke, averaging 21 points and 11.1 rebounds, while showcasing explosive leaping ability. The Kings believe his athleticism and scoring touch would translate to NBA stardom. Unfortunately for Sacramento, Bagley's career has been derailed by injuries and inconsistency. After 4 disappointing seasons with the Kings, he was traded to the Detroit Pistons. Through 7 seasons, he's averaged just 12.1 points and 6.6 rebounds per game. The Bagley selection represents one of the biggest draft misses in recent NBA history, especially considering who was taken with the very next pick. The Atlanta Hawks selected Luka Doncic, 3rd overall, but immediately traded him to the Dallas Mavericks for Trae Young and a future first-round pick. Unlike most prospects, Luka was already a professional star in Europe, winning EuroLeague MVP at just 19 years old. Despite his accomplishments, some teams question whether his lack of elite athleticism would limit him in the NBA. Those concerns have proven laughably wrong. Luka has become one of the NBA's premier superstars, averaging 28.6 points, 8.7 rebounds, and 8.3 assists per game over his career. He's a perennial MVP candidate who has transformed the Lakers into contenders. While the Mavericks got an all-star in Davis, this trade will forever be scrutinized as the Lakers landed a generational talent. The Memphis Grizzlies selected Jaren Jackson Jr., 4th overall from Michigan State. At 6'11" with a 7'4" wingspan, Jackson was viewed as the draft's best defensive prospect with modern offensive skills. In college, Jackson showed flashes of brilliance, averaging 10.9 points, 5.8 rebounds, and 3 blocks while shooting 40% from three-point range. 7 seasons in, Jackson has developed into one of the NBA's elite defenders, winning Defensive Player of the Year in 2023. He's averaging 18.4 points, 5.6 rebounds, and 2.1 blocks while shooting 35% from 3. While injuries have limited him at times, Jackson has largely lived up to his draft position as a cornerstone of the Grizzlies' young core alongside Ja Morant. The Dallas Mavericks selected Trae Young 5th overall, but immediately traded him in a future first-round pick to the Atlanta Hawks for Luka. Young was a sensation at Oklahoma, leading the nation in both scoring, 27.4 points, and assists, 8.7 per game. Despite his incredible offensive production, scouts worried about his small frame, defensive limitations, and shot selection. In the NBA, Young has become one of the league's most dynamic offensive players, averaging 25.3 points and 9.8 assists per game. He led the Hawks to the Eastern Conference Finals in 2021 and has made multiple All-Star teams. While Young has fulfilled his offensive potential, his defensive limitations and the Hawks' inconsistent team success have prevented him from reaching the same level as Luka or SGA. The Orlando Magic selected Mo Bamba 6th overall from Texas. At 7 feet with an extraordinary 7'10" wingspan, Bamba was drafted primarily for his defensive potential and rim protection. In college, Bamba averaged 12.9 points, 10.5 rebounds, and 3.7 blocks per game, showcasing his ability to alter shots and control the paint. Unfortunately, Bamba's NBA career has been disappointing. He struggled to earn consistent playing time, averaging just 6.8 points and 5.4 rebounds in limited minutes. After 5 seasons with the Magic, he's bounced between the Lakers, 76ers, and Trailblazers. Bamba represents one of the bigger misses in the lottery, especially considering the talent that was still available, including SGA. The Chicago Bulls selected Wendell Carter, 7th overall from Duke. At 6'10", with a 7'4" wingspan, Carter was viewed as a fundamentally sound big man with a high basketball IQ. In his lone season at Duke, Carter averaged 13.5 points, 9.1 rebounds, and 2.1 blocks per game, while showing promise as a passer and scorer. After 2.5 seasons with the Bulls, Carter was traded to the Orlando Magic, where he's developed into a solid starting center. Over his career, he's averaged 12 points and 8.3 rebounds while showing improvement as a three-point shooter. While Carter has become a reliable NBA player, his impact hasn't approached that of SGA or some of the other stars from this draft. The Cleveland Cavaliers selected Colin Sexton, 8th overall from Alabama. Known as the Young Bull, Sexton was an explosive scorer who averaged 19.2 points per game in his long college season. Sexton showed promise early in his Cavaliers career, averaging 24.3 points per game in his 3rd season. However, a torn meniscus limited him to just 11 games in his 4th year, and he was subsequently traded to the Utah Jazz in the Donovan Mitchell deal. Over his career, Sexton has averaged 18.8 points per game while improving his efficiency and playmaking. While he's a productive scorer, questions remain about his ability to impact winning as a lead guard. The New York Knicks selected Kevin Knox, 9th overall from Kentucky. At 6'9", with a 7-foot wingspan, Knox was viewed as a prototypical modern forward with a scoring potential. In his lone season at Kentucky, Knox averaged 15.6 points and 5.4 rebounds per game, showing flashes of offensive talent but struggling with consistency. Knox's NBA career has been a major disappointment. After a promising rookie season where he averaged 12.8 points per game, his production and playing time steadily declined. He's bounced between the Knicks, Hawks, Pistons, Trailblazers, and Jazz, struggling to find a consistent role. Through 7 seasons, Knox has averaged just 7.4 points on 39% shooting, making him one of the biggest draft busts in recent memory. The Philadelphia 76ers selected Mikal Bridges, 10th overall from Villanova, but traded him to the Phoenix Suns on draft night for Zaire Smith and a future first-round pick. Bridges was a 2-time NCAA champion at Villanova, known for his 3-and-D potential with a 7'2" wingspan. In his final college season, he averaged 17.7 points while shooting 43.5% from 3. In the NBA, Bridges has developed into one of the league's premier wing defenders, while steadily improving his offensive game. After 4.5 seasons with the Suns, he was traded to the Brooklyn Nets, where he showcased expanded scoring abilities. Over his career, Bridges has averaged 14.7 points while shooting 37% from 3 and providing elite perimeter defense. While not at SGA's level, he's been one of the draft's better values. And then with the 11th pick, the Charlotte Hornets selected Shai Gilgeous-Alexander from Kentucky. However, he was immediately traded to the Los Angeles Clippers for the 12th pick, Miles Bridges, and 2 future second-round picks. SGA's rise to stardom wasn't immediate. As a rookie with the Clippers, he showed promise, averaging 10.8 points and 3.3 assists while making the All-Rookie second team, but few predicted what was coming next. After just 1 season, the Clippers traded SGA to the Oklahoma City Thunder as part of the Paul George deal. This move would change the trajectory of his career in the Thunder franchise. In Oklahoma City, SGA's development accelerated dramatically. His scoring average jumped from 10.8 to 19 points in his second season. By his third year, he was averaging 23.7 points and 5.9 assists, establishing himself as one of the league's most improved players. Despite dealing with injuries in his 4th and 5th seasons, SGA's growth continued. In the 2022-23 season, he exploded for 31 points per game, earning his first All-Star selection and All-NBA first-team honors. The 2023-24 season saw SGA finish second in MVP voting while leading the Thunder to the Western Conference best record. He's now widely regarded as one of the NBA's top 10 players and the cornerstone of a rising contender. What makes SGA special isn't just his scoring, it's how he scores. His methodical, deceptive driving ability, mid-range mastery, and improved three-point shooting have made him nearly unguardable. Add in his length and defensive impact, and you have a complete two-way star. The story of the 2018 NBA Draft reminds us of the inexact science of evaluating basketball talent. Even the most seasoned scouts and executives can miss on future superstars while overvaluing prospects who never reach their potential. SGA's rise from the 11th pick to NBA superstardom is a testament to his work ethic, basketball intelligence, and the Thunder's development program. What do you think? Where would you rank SGA in a redraft? Which team made the biggest mistake passing on him? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please like this video and subscribe to the channel for more NBA content.